leadership matters, that storytelling matters, right? I'm about to share a couple of stories that for me were compelling, but are germane to the population of folks that I'm actually leading now. Um, and one of them, they don't know this, one of them is about a woman by the name of Beverly McCurry Smith, who sounds like a regular, innocuous person. But it's about how she leveraged a 10-minute bus ride to fundamentally change her life, right? And and let me give you I'll give you the backdrop story. At In 1964 or thereabouts, she's on a bus. A 16-year-old Beverly McCurry Smith is on a bus in Journal Square in Jersey City, New Jersey. And she bumps into a woman by the name of Anne Marie Arcand. Right, Anne Marie Arcand is a kid she just graduated from high school with. Beverly is on her way to a assembly line job in New York City. So she got a job and is gonna go assemble parts on an assembly line. And she asked Anne Marie Arcand, "Hey, so what are you up to?" And Anne Marie Arcand says, "Yeah, Bev, I'm actually going to college." And so and she goes, "Well, wow, no one in Bev's family had ever gone to college." So interestingly, um, she then asked the question, "Wow, I'd love to go to college. What's the process?" It was that particular moment of vulnerability where she was asking, "How do you do something?" that fundamentally opened the door for Anne Marie Arcand to provide kind of the guidance that changed her life. And so Anne, in the intervening next 7 minutes, says, "Well, you go down to Jersey City State, which is down south of the boulevard. You go to the admissions department. The name of the gentleman who runs the admissions department is X. Um, by the way, the cost, you need 12 credits to be a full-time student per semester. And the cost of the credit is $16.50. $16.50. And in that second, Beverly McCurry Smith realizes that even with her job at the assembly line, she had the financial means to actually go to college in that second. We're now at 7 or 8 minutes, and she goes, "Well, Bev, my stop's coming up." There's this large hissing sound of the air brakes. Anne Marie Arcand exits the bus, never to be seen again by Beverly. But what happens? Beverly McCurry Smith actually did go down to Jersey City State College, did find the admissions director, did pay her $16.50 per credit for her first 12 credits, and did ultimately graduate from Jersey City State with a bachelor's in English Lit. She then rinsed and repeated that guidance from Anne Marie Arcand and went down to Rutgers, found the admissions department at Rutgers, um, figured out what she needed to do to apply for Rutgers, the liberal arts program, got her master's in liberal arts at Rutgers. She then rinsed and repeated that same guidance. After working for a minute, she goes to NYU Law School, says, "Hey, I want to be a lawyer," and goes to NYU Law School, gets into NYU Law School with the same guidance, armed with the Anne Marie Arcand story. And then ultimately, she does that same thing, goes to Harvard, and gets an LLM from Harvard Law School, which is the master's in law. And she's there around the same time of I think Barack Obama and his lovely wife Michelle, when they were going through the process, graduating from Harvard Law. But it's not done. She becomes a seasoned professor. While at NYU, by the way, she gets the political bug, becomes the first African American and the first woman president of Student Bar Association. When she matriculates into adulthood, she ultimately becomes a member of the National Bar Association, which ultimately she becomes its president. She becomes its president, and this poor kid who is living in the projects becomes one of the 100 most powerful people in the United States on a 10-minute conversation with a kid she's never seen again. And by the way, I was able to find a newspaper article of her, in the local newspaper when she retired as a distinguished professor at Toro Law Center in Long Island. And in this newspaper article, they talk about her, something like 40 to 50 people coming to share their Beverly McQuarrie Smith moments, things where Beverly actually materially impacted their life. And curiously, in this particular picture, in the background over her left-hand shoulder, out of focus, is a guy that resembles someone that looks like me. It in fact is me. And what I didn't tell you about Beverly in 1964 is she was a mom. She had a hard-headed son, and I am her son. So I got to see someone go from the projects to the corridors of power, to the president, the Oval Office with Bill Clinton, to hanging out with Senator Jacob Javits as a young lawyer, to working at the Department of Interior, and I got to believe that you could do anything if you put your mind to it. That was the most powerful example of don't let your circumstances impact your life. And importantly, it was enabled by a 10-minute conversation. 10 minutes. Where someone was saying, hey, I'm struggling with trying to learn about how to do something I really want to do, which is go to college. And someone's kindness in sharing that. And by the way, not only did Beverly McQuarrie get 4 degrees, but her son got 3. Her grandkids all used it to go to college as well. And so that particular guidance has paid tremendous dividends. And I wanted to make sure I shared that with people, because I believe that if you plan your work and work your plan, you can actually deliver anything you set your mind to.